Welcome! This video is the first in a series of 3 videos created by APEGA to inform members about draft amendments to APEGA bylaws pertaining to council nominations. This chapter covers important information and context, including why the bylaw changes are needed and the key steps leading to the development of the draft bylaws. Chapter 2 covers the draft bylaw amendments related to the council nomination process, and Chapter 3 covers draft bylaw amendments related to the Nominating Committee. The draft bylaw amendments are required to enable Council to implement the recommendations of the Special Committee of Council on Nominations. Let's start by reviewing the role of APEGA and the importance of APEGA progressively evolving its governance approach. APEGA is first and foremost a regulator of the engineering and geoscience professions in Alberta, with its primary goal to protect the public. Self-regulation is a unique and increasingly complex governance model that requires Council to possess a mix of competencies and experience over and above the professional and technical competencies of engineering and geoscience. As a regulator, Council's mandate is to provide strategic leadership, financial oversight, and sound governance in accordance with the Engineering and Geoscience Professions Act. As such, recruitment and development of qualified candidates is key to Council's ability to deliver on its mandate. APEGA is committed to effective governance that considers emerging trends, expectations, and best practices. In March 2021, Council approved a new, fully transparent governance framework that provides greater consistency with current legislation, clear and detailed principles of APEGA's governance, and an interconnected framework for robust governance of APEGA. The draft bylaw changes pertaining to the nomination process are aligned with the new governance framework. We will now review the key steps leading to the draft bylaw changes. In response to a motion passed at the 2019 Annual General Meeting, APEGA Council established a Special Committee of Council on Nominations in June 2019. The Special Committee's mandate was to review the process for the nomination of candidates for election to APEGA Council, to ensure they have the competencies required to fulfill Council's mandate and to foster diversity. The final report of the Special Committee was received by Council in June 2020. The report recommended that APEGA rewrite its bylaws related to nominations to provide clearer and more consistent direction, as well as to clearly outline the authority of the Nominating Committee, leaving any procedural activities to be developed on the authority of the Nominating Committee. The full report by the Special Committee is available at apega.ca. In spring 2021, all APEGA members were invited to provide feedback on the 6 key findings and 4 recommendations of the Special Committee through virtual engagement sessions and a survey. Most engagement participants agreed with the 4 recommendations. Move to a simplified, transparent nomination approach using a formal, structured assessment based on needed skills, knowledge, and attributes. 93% agreement. Implement an ongoing education and communication strategy to communicate the nomination process to licensed professionals. 89% agreement. Update the Nominating Committee composition, authority, and process. 78% agreement. Create a nomination approach that is inviting and easily accessible for licensed professionals and actively works to attract a more diverse pool of qualified nominees for Council and other volunteer roles as a means of succession development. 91% agreement. The full member input report can be found at apega.ca. In June 2021, Council reviewed member input and approved the 4 recommendations of the Special Committee of Council on Nominations. Recommendation number 1 and number 3 require amendments to APEGA's bylaws. Although the focus of these video presentations is on the draft bylaw amendments, it is important to recognize that the 4 recommendations of the Special Committee are designed to work together to create a nomination process that addresses Council's need to consistently attract nominees with the competencies and experience required to fulfill its mandate as the regulator of the engineering and geoscience professions in Alberta. Implementation of Recommendations 2 and 4 support ensuring full transparency of the nomination process, proactively attracting a diverse pool of potential nominees, and fully supporting individuals interested in running for council. The draft bylaw amendments outlined in Chapters 2 and 3 are consistent with best practices and trends in professional regulation, which emphasize that the role of a regulator is to carry out its activities and govern its regulated members in a manner that protects and serves the public interest. All members have been invited to participate in one of 6 virtual information sessions. The sessions will explain to members draft bylaw changes and what effect they will have on the nomination process so members can make an informed decision if the matter goes to a vote. Members have also been invited to complete an online survey. Council will decide in October on the bylaw amendments and whether a member vote will be required. If Council approves the bylaw amendments, an electronic vote will be held in November 2021. If the vote passes, the new bylaws would come into effect for the 2022 nomination process to identify candidates for the 2023 Council election. More information is available at apega.ca.